Hi. Yeah, so I still haven't quite figured out if the one person is me or somebody else. Yeah, so good morning. Um yeah, so those of you who've been with me before will know that sometimes in is a bit of an issue, and I've discovered that when I'm in the cabin, which I couldn't be today because James has taken the day off to work in the cabin, so I can't then be doing a live stream at the same time, so it's just not quite big enough. So I've come into the community centre again, which is now COVID secure and really weird because it's got like plastic on the sofas and tape down to like separate groups, and I don't know, it's all strange. And yeah, what I've discovered is because the cabin's got a tin roof or a galvanized steel roof, it doesn't let the signal in. So even if I put it by the window, it doesn't let it in. But if I put it outside, I've got fast internet, like proper fast internet. So I've discovered that if I put it in the lunchbox, like a Tupperware box outside, then it somehow gets in through the window and is really strong. So I don't know if this is going to work, so much in the CC today, the community centre. So if we'll just see anyway. Hopefully the internet's fine. So if you're here and you're and you think you're going to stay, or even if you're not going to stay, you could just say hello. It's quite nice to know who comes. Hello, hi Dana. If it's okay to say your name. Lovely to see you from Romania. That's great. I haven't had some from Romania before, so that's nice. Yeah, lovely to see you. And have you been using my yoga videos? Are you used to my style of yoga? So like quite slow, fairly slow and gentle, but sometimes we do slightly stronger postures. But it's fairly gentle yoga. So, have you been before to the class live stream? Yeah, so it's a kind of an hour and a half, a proper hour and a half class if you want to join in. But lovely to see you, and you're really welcome. That's great. Okay, so let's start in a comfortable seated position. Grab a cushion or a blanket or something if you want to underneath your bottom, but you might be kneeling as well. So just it might not be that you want to be cross-legged. So just see how you feel. And we'll begin by just really feeling into how your body is this morning. So how are you feeling and what's been going on for you in the last, the last few weeks or the last few days or even just this morning. Just we can recognize if there's what's been happening and then if there's anything stressful or particularly wonderful and exciting. We can just rest with those feelings. So even the super exciting feelings, we can just rest with them. We don't need to make them be anything they're not, or over-explain them or overthink them. And the same with any more difficult experiences. And this is the same with our body. So however we're feeling in our body, we can just be with that feeling and accept it. And just give our body some love and attention for the next hour and a half. So start to deepen your breath. Notice as you inhale deeply, there's a slight lengthening from the crown of the head. And as you exhale, there's a gentle softening of your shoulders, softening of your brow. Inhale. Notice how the heart begins to rest over your hips, your pelvis area. Now the head begins to rest over your heart. And with every exhale, feeling the resting in the muscles of your arms, all around your jaw, around the back of the neck. Notice how the breath, as it's drawn in, expands your torso. And as it leaves your body, gently, the belly and ribcage and chest begin to fall back towards the spine. There's a softness to your breathing. Let's begin with our Om vibration. So we'll chant the Om vibration 3 times together, just to begin our practice. And then with the breath, we can gently open our eyes. Just with a soft eye gaze. And we'll begin by just having a little look over the left shoulder. Inhale forward and then over to the right. This is just a very gentle way of waking up your neck. So in your own time. So you can go as slowly as you want to. So you're either doing 2 or 3 of these, depending on your speed. And bringing the head back to center. And then gently moving the left ear over to the left shoulder. The shoulder is soft. And we can lift up the right arm. And see how that is. So every time we move the arm, maybe lift it, and we could even do slight flowing movement. And this creates a slight variation in your stretch of your neck area down here. And then gently bringing the head back up and then over to the other side. So lifting the arm. Gentle flowing movement. So remember that you're breathing as you do this. And then lifting up the head. Fantastic. We'll have a little look down with the head. Really stretching the neck, the back of the neck, and then gently coming into neck rotations, but being careful so that you're not going back and putting pressure on the back of your neck. You can just arch over. Again, it's about 2 or 3, depending on your speed. And then the other way. So in your own time. So whenever you're practicing anything to do around your neck, it's really important it's in your own time. Because you might have, who knows, you might have even slept badly on your neck or anything like that, or just have that area is an area of tension for you. And then lifting up. Fantastic. Let's lift up the shoulders and let them drop. Nice. And then rotating the shoulders with the breath. Lovely, deep, powerful breath through your nose. And then back the other way. Wonderful. Oh, nice clicking going on over here. And then bringing the shoulders to stillness. Fantastic. So exhaling forward, rounding your back. Your wrists are hanging off your knees. Inhale, opening, arching your back if it's safe for you to do that. Opening up your chest. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. There's a real rounding, feeling that rounding. It will be kind of involving your shoulders quite a lot. So you'll feel a stretch in your shoulders as the arms come forward. Inhale. The shoulder blades are moving towards each other. And again, in your own time, really nice and slowly if you need to. And then bringing yourself back to center. Fantastic, lovely. Okay, let's bring a stretch over. If you're still okay to sit. If you need to, have a little moment bringing out your mat so that you can give yourself a bit of a rest. Otherwise, we'll come over to the side. And this time, let's rest on the side. So we'll breathe into the side body and you can just stretch your arm. If you want to, just make a little bit of a flow of it. Using the arm to, it's almost like you're grabbing something. Stretching your hand out, your arm out, stretching the side body. And then coming up and over to the other side. Gently stretching. Nice. Lots of nice deep breaths. Grabbing the apple season here. We've been busy picking all the apples from the orchard and we're going to be juicing them this weekend over 3 days. Okay, hands down. And we'll just come into a gentle side twist. So lifting, inhaling through the crown of the head and then over to your left. But if you're over the other side, that's fine. So if you're over to the left like me, your left hand will be behind and your right hand will be on your knee. And take a few breaths in this twist. So inhale, there's a lengthening through the crown of the head, and exhale, there's a softening a bit more into the twist. Lovely deep breaths. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale back to center. And then over to the right, if that's the way you're going. So inhale, lifting, exhale, softening. Gentle, deep, slow breaths. And on the next exhale, bring yourself back to center. Fantastic. Great. So let's bring the legs out. And if you haven't done already, we're going to just do a little side to side twist out of the legs. Wonderful. And then let's bring our feet together and we'll come into our cobbler. Let's bring them. I know my favourite is where I have the heels a bit away from the groin area, but let's bring the heels in this time. We'll start by just doing a little butterfly with our Baddha Konasana posture. And just have a little few butterfly wings inspired by Eve's emoji. Sorry. I have noticed since getting into like YouTube and like social media and stuff, is like my emoji level has gone up quite a lot. It's a bit embarrassing, but anyway, it's all about the emoji. Okay, so James actually says living with me is like living with an emoji, because everything's like, oh, ooh, ah. Anyway, so enough about me. Let's focus on the practice. Okay, with your breath, just enjoy the stretch out of your groin area. If it's too, or your inner thighs and inner legs. So if feels too much, you can bring the feet away from you a little bit, and also you can prop up underneath your knees and just go really slowly with it. Just feel into it. Nice and gently. And then closing the knees, a cushion or blanket. And we'll bring ourselves over onto all fours. So the knees are below the hips and the hands are below the shoulders. And let's just start with our figure of 8. So we're keeping our neck in line with the rest of our spine as much as possible. And the figure of 8 is your hips moving from side to side. Feeling gentle. Oh, don't know about you, but I'm quite stiff in my hips. So any little sore areas, you can just welcome them. There's no need to do anything, make them go away or anything like that. We're just seeing what happens if we move our body. Let's start to slightly undulate. So we're lifting up. We're not in full cat Majjasana flexions and extensions yet. We're just undulating the pelvis. So now we're tilting the pelvis in, the coccyx and the sacrum in, and then out. As the pelvis goes down like this, and as the back arches down like that, we're inhaling a little bit, and then we're exhaling, scooping up the pelvic floor like that. So it's not the full one. We're just gently rocking it, like in the pelvic tilts. Does that make sense? I don't know if you can see properly. With my baggy clothes on, it's not very warm in here. Baggy and raggy. I'm attached to this cashmere jumper, and I need to darn the elbow. Okay, let's start to move in the full expression of this posture. So inhaling, arching up, exhaling down. So it's a bit more static. Can you feel that your hips are much more, you're not moving quite as much. It's more about the rest of the spine. Exhale. You're still tilting in your hips, but it's less like a dancer. It's more kind of considered. So as you arch up your back towards the ceiling, you can lift up your pelvic floor and abdominal muscles. Inhale, arching your back down towards the mat. Exhale towards the ceiling, pelvic floor, core muscles. Keeping your shoulders nice and loose, away from the ears. And then bringing the spine back to neutral. That's fantastic. Okay, so lifting up the right hand and the left leg, holding in your abdominal muscles and your pelvic floor. Always a good one. Take a couple of breaths here. So really strong on your back, strong on your belly, flexing your back leg. So your left leg is flexed. And then exhale down. And the other side, lifting up the left hand, that left arm, the right leg. Flexing your foot nice and strong. Lifting up your core muscles. So your belly, nice and strong. And then bringing the hands down. That's great. Okay, so we're going to bring out the right leg and gently rock back on that leg. Just really stretching out the hamstrings a little bit. And then shake the leg out. And then if your wrists are still okay with it, if you need to have a rest out from your wrist, you can just come down like this, have a little rest out. But your wrists are still okay with it, we'll bring in your knees together. We'll come into tiger flexions and extensions on this side, so on the right side. Exhaling in. Inhale up. Exhale in. Inhale up. Nice and strong in your belly. Really keeping yourself lovely and strong, rounding the back. And then arching the back. So you're rounding it off. And then it's arching backwards. Really strong on your bum muscles as well. And then placing down. And then the other side, having a little stretch out. I'll come forward a little bit of a stretch out the back leg. So this is your left side now. So it's fine that your knees are a bit more towards the center. That's fine. It doesn't make much difference. Great. Can you hear me okay? I hope you can. I'm just there's actually going to be a meeting in the next room, so I'm just being a little bit quiet. And so gentle shaking out of the leg. Fantastic. And then exhale underneath, nose to knee. Inhale up. When I say nose to knee, you don't actually have to put your nose to knee, by the way. It's just going towards it. And if you're feeling really kind of vibrant and like you would like to be a bit stronger, this is the kind of exercise you can go stronger as long as you're holding your abdominal muscles to create a secure base for yourself, like you're keeping this exercise really secure and not hurting your lower back or anything. You can actually go quite fast if you want to. Otherwise, you can go really, really slow. And they're both actually very effective. They're just different. And then exhale down. Okay, so opening up the knees and then coming back into child. So this is an extended child. Knees open, arms straight ahead. And you could lift up onto the fingertips, and then gently encourage your chest down towards the mat. See what that does? Does that stretch out your middle back? Like feel into that. And then bringing the hands forward, bringing the knees in and turning the toes around. We'll come back into downward facing dog. So let's just go. This time we're coming straight back into downward dog and we're walking out the dog. Sometimes we do half dog first and acute dog, but we're just coming straight back and walk out the dog. And then we could walk our feet out towards the edges of the mat and having a wide leg downward dog. See what that feels like. Maybe hold it for a little bit And then walking back in, so your feet are hip width apart. Don't know what's going on, my bit coffee at the moment. Frog in my throat. And then this time we'll gently, with bent knees, we'll walk our hands towards our feet. So we're coming up, so at the back of the mat. And just hang here for a moment. In Uttanasana, so you can bend your knees and then straighten your knees. We're just keeping it a little bit flowy, so we're in a bit of a flow, hanging down here. And then inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward. We'll take a flow here. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more time. Exhale. Bending the knees. And then gently bringing the arms up. And bringing the hands down to the heart. Just realised I've got my baby seat too close, so I'm just going to skip to the back. Just give me that. Bring that up so you can actually see me. Okay. Brilliant. Hopefully you can hear me fine from here. So we're up, and actually we're at the back of our mat, aren't we? So you come up. Hands at the heart and gently tuck in the tailbone. Open up the chest. And let's have a moment here in mountain posture, but we've got our hands at the heart. We're lifting through the arches of the feet. Just taking a moment with our eyes closed, just being here in mountain. And then gently lifting up the arms, and we'll take the right wrist in the left hand and begin to arch over into a side stretch. And then up again, and then over to the other side. And then up. And then over to the first side. And then up, and then taking the clasp on the other side and over to the second side. And up you go. And I'm going to bring the hands back to the heart. I'm just going to check with the meeting. Just stay where you are. Just going to check with the meeting. I'm not being too noisy. Oh, it's fine. We won't hear you. Yeah, it's all fine. They're not going to be noisy, and I'm not going to be noisy. That's fine. Hear me, okay? That's what I'm worried about. It's just a meeting with an accountant. I think someone's having. Okay, so from here, we'll bring ourselves. You can stay at the front of the mat, at the back of the mat. That's fine. And we'll open up the legs, and we're just going to take a little bit of swinging and twisting. So bobbing the knees, and then twist from side to side. So really enjoy this twist of the body, full body. And again, if you're feeling quite energetic, you can actually swing from side to side quite vigorously if you want to. You can be really vigorous, or you could be really gentle. So just feel what's nice for you. And I've got my legs wide like this. And then bringing the knees, as you reduce the movement, and bring the feet in so that the outside edges of the feet in line with the mat. And then gently lift up and exhale down. So you're coming into skier. Lift up and exhale down. And again, you can be as vigorous as you need to. So don't you worry. You can just really go for it. Or you can be really gentle like this. Really nice and gentle, protecting your lower back, holding in your core muscles. Or really vigorous. Using the breath to really get your body pumping. And we're going to come up to Utkatasana next, so the chair. So bending the knees, really squatting, tilting your pelvis in like this, and holding up your arms. Squatting here in Utkatasana, the chair posture. And then lifting up, stretching up, and then coming down. So see if you want to come lower, you might want to. Tucking in the tailbone. And then bringing yourself up and hands down to heart center. Fantastic, great. Okay, lifting the arms up and gently coming down into Uttanasana, forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, bringing yourself into flat back and then taking hold of, if it feels comfortable, if you can do this, taking hold of your big toes with your peace fingers and planting your thumb into your big toenail. You can bend your knees a little bit if you want. And then so you're inhaling in the flat back and then exhale, folding forward, lifting through the arches of the feet. And breathing into this hamstring stretch. So making sure we're not locking out the back of the knees. Just gently, there'll be a slight bend, even if you're really flexible in your hamstrings. So still tight, the soft knees. Keep your knees soft. And then inhale, looking up, placing the hands in front of you and gently walking the hands out until you come into a downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here in downward dog. And then bending the knees, lowering the knees down. Taking a little look up in upward cat. Then coming back to neutral spine, bringing yourself down with your knees bent onto the mat. The hands are by your shoulders, your elbows are in at your sides. You're inhaling up into a cobra. So you're either coming into a little cobra like this, and you can always take your hands off just to test that you're using your muscles. Or you can choose to come up to a slightly higher cobra, making sure that your shoulders are lovely and soft and away from your ears. Make sure your elbows are in at your sides. You've got bent elbows. And then exhale down. But being super careful of your lower back. I'll just move the candle. Bringing the arms out in front of you. And we'll just do some alternate leg and arm lifts. So inhale your right arm up and your left leg. Exhale down. And then the opposite side. Exhale down. So you can go even slower than this if you want to. This is strengthening of your tummy, strengthening of your back muscles. We're really just gently strengthening the back. We're not doing anything that's going to hurt your back, remember. And then once you're even on either side, bringing the hands down so that they're comfortable, and so they're both down and your legs are both down. And then we'll have a little go. We'll bring ourselves up a little bit and have a little go at, I really But for some people, they're really they work really well, and they're actually quite good for us, even if we have a back like me where the lumbar spine is actually pinching a little bit. It's still good for us to move our spine in all sorts of ways. So I do actually make sure I do them sometimes. So if you need to opt out, please do, and come back into a child's pose. But otherwise, we're just coming into just for a little while into Dhanurasana, which is the bow posture. So bring your right hand behind you and taking hold of your right ankle or foot. And then bring yourself down and then have a little lift up using your muscles to lift you up and take hold of the other side. Left hand, left ankle, foot. Some people practice it with flexed feet. I don't so much do that because it's actually just really hard. So I've got my ankles. So exhale down, relaxing. Hopefully if your quads are too tight, you might not be able to do this. So you could take another gentle back bend if you can do that, back into cobra or something. Inhale up, and you're trying to keep your knees as close together as possible. Just take a couple of breaths here. See, I'm not particularly bendy in my back bends, but I'm happy about that. So it's strong on your quad muscles. And please come down if you need to. And then exhale down. And then bring the feet down nice and long in your legs. And then rock from side to side with your hands resting, your head resting on your hands. Rocking from side to side. Your hips, just to really give them a bit of a rock out. And then bringing your hands next to your shoulders again. Coming back up onto your knees and having a little bit of time back into child. Oh, I can feel that in my lower back. Yeah, definitely back bends have gone on for me. So if you need to in child, you can also stack your fists if it feels easier to do that. Otherwise, coming back into child with closed knees. I mean, the good thing about a live stream class, I can't see you, so you actually can do whatever you want. If you want to opt out of things, no one will know. You can just be doing your own thing. So lots of nice deep breaths in child. And you can always bring your hands down by your side into embryo, where it's like imagining you're a little baby in the womb, growing in the womb. Those were the days, the easy days. Got fed on tap. Got to float around. Have a nice little rest here. And then gently stretch out your arms. Come up onto your knees. Have a little wide-armed, and you might cat flexions and extensions just to give your back a little stretch out. But your arms will be ready for downward dog, and your feet, like mine, are actually ready for downward dog already. I've already turned them over, so you might be like that. Let's have a little cat movement. Lovely. Okay, so turning the toes around already if you haven't, and then we can hover here. So we're taking a strong hover, so really strong on your pelvis. Not pelvis, sorry, your abdominal muscles. Strong on your abdominal muscles. And then lifting back, bent knees. So half downward dog. Bringing the chest back towards your knees. And then lifting up on tiptoes. A cute dog. And then back into full downward dog. And then we'll lift up the right leg. And then let's open up the hip. So we'll bring the heel back towards the buttocks, opening up the hip. And then gently, either way, you can lower your leg down if you want to. Let's bring your foot to the outside edge of your hands. And we can lower, let's first lower the knee down. And we'll just do a little hamstring stretch. So exhale back, inhale forward. Ah, lovely. So lovely deep breaths. Inhale forward, exhale back. And then bringing the knee or the leg back to stillness, and we'll lift up. So either you can keep your knee down if you wish to, otherwise, and maybe put a blanket underneath the knee if it's hurting. Otherwise, come up into a lunge, because we are going to be getting up soon, so it might be worth coming up if you want to, but come up into a lunge. If the balance is okay. Hands at the heart. And then opening up. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, open up. We'll do a bit of a flow. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale. And exhale. And then opening up to the side. Inhale. Exhale. Open the other side, sorry. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. One more time, opening up. Inhale. Exhale, back to center. And then we're going to clip down the back leg and then heel toe the front leg so that it's in line with the arch of the back foot. So heel to arch. And then bending the knee, and you can see your big toe. Opening up here. Really nice. And warrior two. So let's take a flow to begin with. Inhale, open. Exhale. Inhale, open. Lifting up pelvic floor, especially if you're a woman, actually. So really keeping yourself nice and strong, because these standing postures, they're strong. And you can help keep yourself strong as well. Feeling contained, because there's a softness, there's a real energy from the heart center moving out through the arms. So the prana, your life force energy, moving from the heart center. Inhaling, open. And then we'll gently bring ourselves forward into Parshva so the side angle posture. Gentle, strong side angle. So we're not slumping here like this, keeping ourselves nice and strong. So we could even take this off. That's how strong we are. We're just resting it. Lifting up your Mula Bandha, your root lock, your pelvic floor, nice and strong. And then bring yourself back up. Let's come into humble warrior. This is strong with your leg, isn't it? Opening up. Do take breaks if you need to, by the way. Opening up and then coming forward. You can either keep your hands down at the sacrum. This is a little bit of relief on your leg, I find. And then lifting up if you want to for a stretch in your shoulders. Deep, strong, lovely breaths. Bring yourself back up. Open up your right hand. The palm is facing up and then back. Lovely. And then bringing yourself back. Warrior two. Hands on hips. Let's straighten the leg. Thank the Lord. And then, or the lady. And bring your leg in a little bit. So you're just shortening the stance slightly because we're going to come into Trikonasana. Now, I know there's one person here who doesn't like this one so much. So modify with a bent leg and see what happens if you don't like this one. Maybe just do a bent leg Trikonasana. So it's like this. So if you can, you've got straight leg, but we can start with a bent leg, and then you're finding your place. So it's probably not down here, but it might be. You don't know. So, I mean, I don't know. So it's, just find your place that's comfortable and you're not going to stretch your hamstring up here, hamstring insertion. So bring yourself up a tiny bit or wherever's comfortable. I have open palms. So I do open palms. So it's open heart again. So your energy is coming from the heart through your hands, opening up, and you're slightly turning your hips around. But again, if you need to, just be up here with the bent leg. And then you can bring your hand around. That's quite nice. And post it in your thigh or just the pocket to see how that is. That can be quite nice to open up the shoulder. And if you're scrunching your feet into the mat, you can loosen them, wiggle them and loosen them. And then gently bring yourself back up. Whew, we're there for a while. Strong, isn't it? On the leg, front leg. So facing forward, and we'll bring in this back foot a little bit, and we're just going to use this as a transition posture. So this is pyramid pose. We're just going to use it as a transition to come down. See how it feels. Strong on the hamstrings, back of the legs, and you can just come up and exhale down, and come up and exhale down. Really just feel into it. And then we're going to place the hands down and then bring the legs back into downward dog. And walk out your dog. Let's have a moment where we place the knees down and we come back into child. And rest. See, if that was strong for you, it's strong for me, that was. But I also do yoga a lot. And so I end up building up the stamina for it. But actually, that's strong. We've done a lot on the right leg. So really just take a moment to rest. And I can really feel it in my hip and my knee and all the rest of it. And so let's open up knees in child, stretch out, and we'll just take a little side stretch over to the left. And then bringing the hands back to the center, and then over to the right. And hands back to center, lifting up the hand down into Anahatasana. So this is a upper back stretch. So not like the ones we were doing before where it's lower back. This is upper back. And so you're bringing yourself down. If your knees need blanket underneath, that can be quite useful. Down towards the chest. And you might have your chin on the mat. Otherwise, you've got your forehead on the mat. Don't forget blankets underneath. And then start to bring yourself up again. Bringing the knees in. Bring the hands out if they've gone back. And then, so you're stretching them forward a little bit. And then lifting up. Hover. Tucking in tummy. So you've got tummy nice. Look, see, nice and tucked in. Like this. Tucking in tummy. Nice and strong. Exhale back. Downward facing dog. Oh, my tummy's getting cold. Just a couple of breaths in downward dog. And then lift up the leg. This is the left leg this time, if you did your right leg last time. And then you're opening up your hips, so your heel is going back towards your buttocks. And then bringing through, so you can bring it through slowly. That's fine. Then you're coming into the low lunge to begin with. And then the foot is on the outside of your hand, so we're quite the hip is fairly open. So inhale forward and exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. So you're really stretching this lovely, this leg. It's a really nice stretch in the back leg. And stretching an inner hip as you come forward. Inhale forward and then lifting up the back leg. So if you can, have your knee down at this stage if you want to, but you will be coming up into the warriors as well. Coming forward into the crescent lunge. So holding your hand at the heart. You're quite wide, there'll still be quite a wide stance at the moment, so it's handy for balance. And then opening up, Prana Mudra. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, open, stretching up. Exhale. Remember your knee is over your ankle. And if you feel like you're scrunching your feet in, the front feet, you can just lift up the toes a little bit. Inhale up. Exhale. And then opening to the side. So you won't be able to see me for a moment. I won't be able to see you, sorry. Inhale, exhale at the heart. Inhale, open. Exhale at the heart. Inhale, open into the twist. The other way. Exhale, heart. Inhale, open. Open twist. Exhale to the heart. Clipping the toe down, the back heel down. And then heel toe. So walk the foot, the left foot over so that you're in line with the arch of your left heel is in line with the arch of the right foot. The right foot turns in a little bit. And then you're coming into your warrior two. So although I love doing it all, just so you can see me, but stay where you are. Unless you can't see me, then you might want to turn. So opening up, warrior two. Lovely. So let's bring, exhale. And the inhale. So remember you can see your big toe there, so you're opening up. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Lovely. Nice and gentle, soft warrior. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, then bring yourself forward into Parshvakonasana. So remember, nice and strong. So you could even lift up your arm like this. Few deep breaths in Parshvakonasana. And then bring yourself up and take hold of you're going to clasp and hold your hands here and come down into humble warrior. So either keep your hands at the sacrum or lift up. So see how it goes. I'm just going to read a comment because it might be useful. Okay, have a lovely time. Thank you. So Dana's had to leave, but that's fine. So yeah, do the other side. If you're all on one side, you can just have a little stretch on the other side. Because we are doing a class, unfortunately, which is all one side, then all the other side. That's a bit frustrating when that happens. You have to leave. Exhale down. And then, so you've been there probably for a little while. And then bring yourself back up. Opening up the arm, so the left arm coming back into peaceful warrior. And then begin to bring your hands out, but we'll do warrior two, and we're going to come into Trikonasana. So heel toe your left leg, so that you're a little bit shorter stance, not very short, but a little bit shorter. And then heel to arch, lifting through the back foot. And you can bend your knee. Remember, you can do it with a bent knee if it feels too much. Bring your hands out, bend the knee slightly, and then find your place and straighten the knee. So you're finding your place with your open palms. Your left, the back of the left hand is resting on the left ankle or shin or even right up here near the knee. Trikonasana. And then gently bring yourself back up. And then take a moment to look straight ahead. So we're going to shorten the stance even more. I'll go back to this side, so I'm on the right side I was before. So shorten the stance even more like this. And then exhale forward into this pyramid posture. And you can bring your hands down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then we're going to walk the feet back towards downward dog. So we're in downward dog. That's lovely. Exhale the knees down. Inhale up. Exhale back into child. So really resting here in child. Take the opportunity in child to rest out. It's strong on your leg. Checking. Strong on your legs. And just give this little moment to reduce your heart rate. Oh, really just the heart rate is slowly you're slowly beating slower. That's not very good English. You're beginning to beat slower in your heart. And you can just rest. And your nervous system will begin to your parasympathetic nervous system will begin to be engaged and everything will feel more relaxed. So bring yourself up onto all fours. And then we'll bring our right knee forward. And we're coming into a pigeon on the right side. So if you want more of a stretch, the shins can move out towards the front of the mat a little bit. Otherwise, keeping your shins or you're keeping your heel in towards the groin. And inhale, opening up the chest. And if you're someone who needs to pad out in pigeon, you can use a cushion. And it's usually on the bent hip. So that's usually where you would put your cushion, is there. So you're not kind of falling over to the side. So see how that is for you. Inhale, opening the chest, and exhale, gently folding forward. And we're going to use pigeon this time. It's a lovely, lovely hip stretch. But we're going to use it as a calming posture as well. So using it as a forward fold, a bit like child's pose, and just really relax in it. So use it as a resting posture as much as possible. This is possible for some people, and some people it's a bit more uncomfortable. But make yourself as comfortable as possible. And if you can't do pigeon lying like this, you can lie on your back and take a leg cradle, where you cross over your right leg will cross over your left leg. So really breathing into this lovely relaxation. And then bring yourself up. And turning your toes around and bringing your knees back together. So they're hip width apart, and bringing the left knee forward, left leg forward. So straightening your right leg. Inhale, opening up the chest. And again, we're just gently guiding ourselves forward, and we're relaxing. So it really is about just being here and resting. So breathe into your left glute muscles. Just breathe into them, encourage a relaxation. I feel like I could stay here for a long time. But I think we'll come back up again. And then turn the toes down and bring the knees back. Place the knees next to each other. And then bring your legs so that they're forward. And you've got nice straight legs. And we'll just hold ourselves in Dandasana, real staff posture. So you're right at a right angle here. Lifting through the crown of the head, straight legs. And just point and flex the feet. Hands by your hips. And then gently find your way into Paschimottanasana. So forward fold again. Gentle softening. So it might be that you're holding your toes. Might be that holding your feet. But also just your shins is fine. And a strap, if you've got a strap, is quite useful. So whatever it feels like, just gently resting in this forward folding posture. And again, we're using it quite restfully. Oh, so deep, slow breaths. And then bring yourself back up. Bend the knees and find yourself onto the mat. Bring the knees into the chest. Have a little rock around. Rock from side to side. And then take hold of the knees with your hands so that, and then we'll keep the knees together and we'll do circles. Exhaling the lower back into the mat. Inhaling, the knees moving away from you a little bit. Doing our circles. And then the other way. And bringing back to stillness. And then we'll keep the hands where they are. And we'll inhale the knees away from each other and exhale towards each other. So slightly different. So each hip is doing its own thing. Inhale, opening the knees apart. Exhale, bringing them together again in circles. Lovely, nice. And then bringing the knees together. Stretching out the left foot with it flexed and bringing in the right knee. So the right knee is going back towards your armpit even. You're kind of feeling it's kind of slightly bypassing your ribs and exhaling it towards your armpit. And then with the knee still being bent, we're going to place the left hand on the left hip to stabilize. So we're keeping the left hip down. And then we're gently just opening up the hip. So we're pressing the knee, we're bringing the knee open so that your hip is opening. So sideways. Does that make sense? If it does. So your knee is coming out towards you. Your right knee is going out towards the right. Slightly opening up your hip just a little bit. And then exhale, bringing it in. And then we're going to bring the right arm out, so long, and take your left hand on top of your right knee and then go over. So we're doing a twist. Hopefully this is all right for you. And if it's not, then just release and just do a gentle twist. And your head's going the other way. Ideally, your shoulder, your right shoulder is still on the mat. It might want to lift up a little bit. But that's how far, that indicates how far down you can go. And if you want to do this more restoratively, you can place blocks or blankets and stuff and cushions underneath your knee, so you can just rest it there. Like that. And then bringing the knee back up and then lengthening the leg. We'll just have a little stretch of the hamstrings, as if we haven't done enough already. We've just done our hamstrings quite a bit today. We'll just do a little bit of a point and flex. And then maybe rotate the ankles, because they've done quite a bit of standing, haven't they? Give them a bit of a break. Oh, nice, a bit of a loosen up after all of that standing. You can even, if you're quite flexible, you can bring your hands up to the ankles and just see what that's like. But don't overstretch, so keep them down. And then we'll relax that leg down. Let's put them next to each other and see what it's like. You might find that the right leg feels a bit longer than the left leg. And then we'll bring in the left knee and flex the right foot. Exhaling it towards your armpit to the left of your ribs. Nice strong stretch in this wind release posture. Deep breaths, nice. Oh, I'm not asleep. I'm ready for a sleep. I've just woken up. Okay, so hands. The right hand is on the right hip, stabilizing, keeping the hip on the mat, and then opening up the left knee. So your hip is opening just a little bit. It won't be as strong as if you've got a straight leg. It'll just be a little bit less. And then releasing your hand, your right hand, bringing it to the outside edge of your left knee. Bring your left hand out, so you're coming into the twist. We're keeping the left shoulder on the mat as much as possible, so your twist will just go as far down. Your knee will just go as far down as your shoulder allows. Might be different. Mine's a bit different on the side. I'm a bit more flexible. Yeah, this way around I'm definitely more flexible because my shoulder's staying down. I can go further down. So yeah, play around with that. Remember, we're pretty much all wonky. It's part of being human. We don't want to have to avoid any accidents or any we've got, as children, we've probably had so many different accidents, and young adults. Oh. And then gently bringing yourself back to center. And if your hips have moved at all, move back to center. And then bring your leg up, point and flex. And have a little rotate of the ankles. This is my clicky one. And then if you're feeling flexible, you can bring your arms up here. Otherwise, keep them down here. Just do whatever feels nice. Give your back a and then gently lower the left leg down to be with the right leg. And just take note of what's going on there. Do they feel the same length again now? Okay, so bring your knees up and then bring your feet into your hands and have a little rock from side to side. If your feet don't want to go into your hands, you can also just put your hands behind your thighs. They're quite noisy next door. And next week I'll definitely be in the cabin, as long as James doesn't take Wednesday off to work in the cabin again. Yeah, so just rock around, happy baby. And we didn't do wide leg forward fold this time, so we could do wide leg stretch as well. So that might be your hands are on your inner thighs or inner calves, or you're holding your hands, your feet, your toes in your hands, stretching them open. And then bringing your feet together. Keep your knees nice and wide and come into Supta Baddha Konasana for a little bit. If you want to prop up with cushions so that you can just rest there and you can stay there, you may. And place one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly, and just rest in this restorative, reclined cobbler posture. Deep, long, slow breaths. So staying in cobbler, Supta Baddha Konasana, or you can come down now. And just resting in Shavasana, so the full corpse posture with your legs stretched out, or you can stay in Supta Baddha Konasana, that's fine. And hands by the side. Just completely rest. Rest, restore. Be at ease. This is your time now. So it's your time to fully relax. Feeling your whole body heavy on the mat. Completely held and supported by the mat and the beautiful Mother Earth that we live on. Just feeling that symbolism of the mother supporting and protecting you, holding, guiding and nourishing, nurturing. And this is a reflection of yourself, of how you support and nurture yourself, how you guide yourself, how you nourish yourself. You are the mother. You are able to mother and look after yourself. And this practice is part of that. It's part of looking after yourself. So with this knowledge of being completely held and supported, you can allow your physical body to totally relax. So your breath can relax back to its neutral, natural breath. All your muscles around your head can completely relax. So the back of the head will feel heavy on the mat. And then all around your brow, soft, gentle muscles all around the brow, down to your cheeks, your eyelids, soft, relaxed eyelids, all the way around your nose and your lips, your upper lip, your lower lip, and all the way around your jaw, feeling the relaxation around your jaw. And then down to the back of the neck, soft, relaxed back of the neck, feeling restfulness, this peacefulness in the front of your neck. So right down to your clavicle, collarbone, that dip at the base of your neck. And then all around your chest and your shoulders, and the shoulder blades behind you. And there's a heavy relaxation. It's very gentle and soft and heavy, just real warm and supported. And the softness, that relaxation comes down your arms, both your arms, from your shoulders down your upper arms to your elbows, down your forearms to your wrists, your hands, back of the hands, palms of the hands, and your fingers. Totally relaxed in your fingers. And feeling that restfulness in your heart, your wonderful center that sits as your bridge between your upper chakras and your lower chakras. It's your energy center right in your heart. Feeling the gentle restfulness and that love for yourself and love for all beings. And that relaxation in the back, in your mid-back, right down to your ribs and your lower back. So feeling your organs and then the rest, your fullness all around your solar plexus, your navel, your organs, right down to your bladder and reproductive system and your hips. So really feeling completely held and supported and just totally relaxed in those areas. Your pelvis and your hips, complete gentle relaxation. And down from your hips, feeling a softness flowing down your legs, to the front and the back of your legs, your thighs, and down to your knees, backs of the knees, all the way down your shins and your calves, your lower legs. Totally relaxed in your ankles. Oh, they can just be completely at ease. And your feet, your upper feet, tops of your feet, and then the bottoms of your feet, right in the arches of your feet, your heels, and then all your toes. Totally relaxed and restful in your toes. Your whole body feels complete relaxation, total rest. Your whole body is relaxed. Covered in a warm blanket of rest. Warm blanket of rest. And you can start to deepen your breath. So keeping this restful feeling in your body, that you can begin to bring some deeper, longer breaths in. And then maybe some gentle movements of your fingers, of your toes. Maybe you wish to rock your head from side to side. And then you could start to wake up by stretching your body right from the tips of your fingers right down to your toes. So you're really giving yourself a proper stretch. You could stretch the right side, and then you could stretch the left side. You could bring your knees into the chest for a knee hug. And then you can make your way onto your side. So you're resting for a moment on your side before coming up to seated. It's nice just to have a little rest here. And when you come to seated, you can have your eyes closed, finding your comfortable seated position. Bring the hands to the heart center. We can end by chanting our Om vibration 3 times, finishing with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, to close our practice together. And breathing in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And bringing the hands above the head in Prana Mudra, arms wide, and taking 3 deep, life affirming breaths here. And then above the head in Namaste. Down through the centers, Sahasrara at the crown, Ajna at the third eye, Vishuddhi at the throat, and Anahata at the heart center. Namaste. And thank you so much for coming. It was lovely to have you and all of those who have nipped off early. So I hope that was beneficial for you. It's nice that we had Lise. I know Lise Platt. We had her for a while, and we had Dana from Romania. They've had to leave a bit early. So yeah, I'm presuming Eve is still here. That's my guess, and I don't know who else is here. So if you want to say hello, you can. Be nice to see who's been sharing the practice together. And hello, new person. Yeah, we've just finished our practice. Sorry, I'm putting my socks on. Horrible socks. Oh, thanks, Eve. I'm so pleased. I hope it was it noisy? Could you hear next door because they're having a meeting? But I don't think it would have been too much. Hopefully not. Yeah. And yay, Mel! I'm so pleased. Thank you so much for a weekly reminder. Were you here the whole time, Mel? Did you? It was quite strong today. But if you were to do, so have you been coming each time? Are you one of the people I don't know who's there, basically? Because like every week I'm like, there was 3 people I didn't know who they were. Missed the first bit because yeah, that's right. You do your swim, don't you? That's great. But have you been coming most weeks? And I just don't know. Because it's quite funny. It's quite funny. Sometimes it's like 5 people and I only know one of them who's there. So it's nice to find out that we had new people. Okay, so I probably should let you get on with your day. So what is that? Not every week. Oh no. What's the rotator cuff? Can you remind me which that one is? Rotator cuff. Is it in your wrist? I'm just thinking, I don't think I know which one that is. Be good for me to know. I could look it up. Is it definitely cuff you're meaning, or is it a spelling error? Small muscles in the shoulder. Okay. Yeah, I'll look that up. Oh, are you okay? That's quite to tear that. That's quite sore. Was it all right for you? Things like downward dog and things. Defo cuff. Okay, great. Yeah, that's we didn't actually we didn't learn every single muscle in our training, but it's good to know some of the more important ones. Is okay. Also, yeah, you wouldn't been swimming exactly. Okay, great. So as long as it's repairing. So yeah, lovely to see you again. And we'll just same time, same place. Not same place. Going to be the cabin, but same YouTube channel, same place. So same time. On my YouTube channel. I have some exciting news. For me. Oh, yes, rugby injuries. Yeah, exactly. So the more you hurt yourself, the more you know about bodies. Basically, it's a great way of learning. I'm going to share my exciting news. Is that I've got a video that's being found by other people, like real life strangers, which is my video for abdominal surgery. So I just want to share that with you. So it's beginning to be found and starting to be kind of, it's starting to like build up quite a lot of views and stuff. So it's going viral. It's not going viral. It's hardly going viral, but it's being viewed all the time. Do you know what I mean? And used for people who have had abdominal surgery. So anyway, I've been discovered. It's my big break. No, it's great. It's good, and I will just make more of those videos because they're so useful for people. And then people will watch quite a lot of them because actually you don't want to watch the same one over and over again, do you? Let's be honest. Okay. I think Eve's gone now, so see you, Mel. I don't know who the hell the other person is. Probably me. I think the other person's me. I don't know. So lovely to see you and have a great day.